Alright, what's going on guys, Rising here, and today we have some pretty exciting information about some weapon changes coming to Advanced Warfare, hopefully within the near future. As you guys might know, Michael Condrey is one of the, I think, lead developers, or he's like community manager, something over there. He's like a bigger guy over at Sledgehammer. And one thing that he does is he actually interacts with the community, the fans, and people that tweet at him. He tries to answer a lot of the questions. I'm sure that he gets flooded with tons of questions, so he can't sit there all day and just reply to people, because then he probably wouldn't ever get anything done. But like I said, he does try to reply to at least the majority of the questions that people send in to him. He's kind of funny with some of the replies. Maybe some people try to bash him, and he plays it off as a joke. So he does, I think, a good job of answering questions and giving feedback to the community with the questions that they ask. But one thing somebody asked him, they asked, was the MP11 getting a buff? Because right now it's kind of useless except on comeback, and I do have to agree. I think the MP11 is a usable gun, but compared to the ASM1, maybe even the KF5, I think the KF5 is kind of a lower tier weapon, but on terms of being useful, the MP11 is definitely lower. I think that it just can't compete with the ASM1. But then he replies with weapon tuning on 15 plus base weapons coming shortly. So the elites, the professionals, the enlisteds, I don't think will get touched. I think that it's just going to be the base weapons, which I don't know, they could just be including the enlisted, professional, elites along with the base weapons, but this is just what I'm taking it, because like a base weapon to me is one that came with the game, no supply drop, nothing enlisted, nothing professional or elite. So I think just the plain Jane, the non-variants of the weapon, I think, is going to be getting the weapon adjustments. But I do have another tweet here from Matthew, and he asked, is the ASM1 getting nerfed or a buff? And Michael Condrey then replied with a yes, also with a smiley face. So he is being a little trollish right here, but what I'm going to have to take from this is that it is going to be getting a nerf. I think that if the ASM1 gets buffed anymore, then no one will ever use any other gun within Advanced Warfare for like the time of Advanced Warfare's life cycle. I think that it's definitely going to be getting a nerf, which I agree with. I think the ASM1 needs a slight nerf. I think the 3-shot kill needs to be lowered a little bit. I think that it's way too far out there, especially because you have the magnitude and then you have advanced rifling on the magnitude, so that just makes the range, I think, +4, which is ridiculous. The ASM1 just melts the ASM1 magnitude. It's probably the best variant other than maybe the Speakeasy, the Strider. I think that the magnitude is, in all its own, is another elite variant. I think that you have 3 elites with the ASM1. But I think that maybe with the nerf, that they'll end up nerfing maybe that the magnitude also, because you can have a +2 range and then put the advanced rifling on it, which I think gives it +4 range, which is just way too much. But I think the 3-shot kill range for the ASM1 just needs to be lowered a little bit, and I think a lot of the people may start using other guns, definitely with the 15 plus weapons being adjusted. I think some of the list were okay, so we have the ASM1 is probably going to get nerfed, so there's one. The SN6 is getting a buff, I think. The KF5 is going to be getting a buff. The MK should get a buff. I don't know if it's on the list, but it should. The EPM3 should get a buff. I think some of the other heavy weapons, maybe the Pyatech, I think might get a buff. I'm not 100% sure about that. I think that the XMGs, they may get another buff. I think that they got a buff pretty early within Advanced Warfare, but they may be on the schedule for getting a buff. The AMR9 definitely needs some adjustments. It's awful. I don't know why that's even in the game. The ARX will probably end up getting a buff. I think the 3-shot kill range for the ARX should be a little higher. But that is pretty much what I think should be getting a buff. Probably the pistols will get a buff. I think the pistols will definitely get a buff. But that's really all I can think of right now. 15 plus weapons, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot more that I did not mention, but only time will tell. I'm hoping that this will come out Tuesday. I actually expected it to come out today because the DLC dropped for PlayStation, and no, the PC actually got pushed back to March 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. So that's kind of a downer for those guys out there, because they're kind of missing out on some cool stuff. Like I said, hopefully this will come out Tuesday, because it's usually whenever they release the DLC, patches, updates, stuff like that is on Tuesday. So maybe we'll receive that Tuesday. But if you guys want to, feel free to hit that like button and possibly subscribe if you guys are new. It definitely helps the channel out. Let me know down in the comments below on your thoughts about some of the weapons that I named off there that are getting adjustments. And if you guys have any other suggestions that I did not mention, let me know down in the comments below. I would greatly appreciate that. I definitely want to know what your guys' thoughts and opinions are about these weapon tunings that hopefully will be coming in the near future. But it's been a pleasure talking to you guys, and until next time, this is Rising out. Peace.